I know that most of you also who are in universities, you have walked into traps whereby probably the first degree which you really wanted, you wanted to be an accountant, but the university was demanding 15 points or 14 points. But unfortunately, you failed to get enrolled into that career of an accountant. But you end up doing economics because probably you had 12 or 11 points. But initially, your passion was in accounting. That's a big trap again. Because why? You are now doing what you're not sold to the idea of being an economist. You are just there because of points. I also want to tell other guys who are doing this, who haven't been in universities, and other people want to pursue other careers. Pursue a career which you really want to do. I've heard a lot of people who have quit their, they've done accounting. Yesterday I was interviewing this other guy. He has done accounting in university. He has done a master's in business administration, but boom, he's now a marketer. Then I'm asking him, why do you want to be a marketer? Then he said, that's what I like. I like talking to people. I don't like spending all the day on my desk punching figures. That's not me. So we're also saying, guys, don't follow these lucrative titles. Doctors, you know, Africans are fond of doctors. Try addressing someone who is a doctor with his first name in Africa. They are very offended because we like titles. So guys, I hope you are not getting into universities to chase for titles or to chase for degrees and to chase for diplomas, so that when you're writing a CV, you say, I think I've interviewed a lot of people who also say, I'm a holder of a marketing degree. I'm a holder of an accounts degree. Unfortunately, industry is not looking for holders. They are looking for people who can do marketing. They are looking for people who can do accounting. They are looking for people, they're not looking for doctors. Certainly they're not looking for professors. They're not looking for 7 degrees, but they're looking for people who know what they're doing, whether they've got degrees or not. When you've got a degree, you've got an arsenal. You have a degree and know what you're doing, you're dangerous. So I'm now done on the fundamental and the basics, which I think you need. This can be a 4-hour or a 6-hour discussion about the fundamentals or the basics of forming a business. Boom, you have started your business. Like it's Jerry in 2015, I started my company. When you start a company, you should also learn to quit. You know, when you're starting, you're doing everything. You're the security guard, you're the receptionist, you're the marketer, you're the salesperson, you're the accountant, but you should learn to quit. When I'm saying learn to quit, I'm not saying quit your business, but I'm saying I've got a lot of companies which I know big, but the managing director is still authorizing $1 for airtime. They are still authorizing $10 for fuel. They are still authorizing everything in the company. When they are sick, we would rather visit the hospital with petty cash vouchers because we want the MD to authorize. But this company has got an accountant. So I'm also saying to you guys, when you're building a business, it's key to build a team. It's key to have people in your team. You can never be a billionaire like Dr. Masiwa without people. Whether you can never be, I don't think you can even be a millionaire without working with people. So you need to master the art of recruitment. As an entrepreneur, you need to know how to recruit. You need to know the process of recruitment. And that process is very painful. I think those who have worked with employees will tell you that I would rather do this on my own because I feel like the people I'm working with, they cannot do this. It's because you have recruited wrong people. And the recipe of recruiting wrong people, I tell you, desk interviews no longer work. My HR company, which is called Red Circle, we no longer recruit people using desk interviews because they don't work. We use other means like testing people's attitude. When you're hiring a website designer, they should design a website. If they tell us about their weaknesses, so what? We don't care about their weaknesses. We can even have someone who cannot even speak, but if they know how to design a website, that's our candidate. We like that person. When we're recruiting a designer, we should have someone who knows how to design, and our interview should be on designing. When you're hiring an accountant, they should prepare books of accounts, because we now have accountants who don't know what they're doing. When you're hiring a legal officer, they should show you by exhibiting proper legal or law skills. We need those law skills. And unfortunately, right now, we've got lawyers who can accompany you to jail. We've got lawyers who can actually escort you to Chikurupi. Because why? We're just basing on certificates only. But I'm saying it's more than certificate when you're recruiting. Test them probably. I'll just give you an interview tip. Number one, when you want to recruit a salesperson, just put them at your reception area or probably in the boardroom. Just send 3 people in the boardroom, or just send 3 people at the reception area. When they cannot greet someone in their own company, are they going to greet your customers? Obviously, they're not going to do that. So you rather recruit, when you're recruiting a receptionist, test them by the soft skills, the basics. Can they write an email? Rather than asking them about their weaknesses and all this old-fashioned way of recruiting people. So you are now building a company. You are now building people. And number 2, I don't want you to get into a trap which I got into when I was starting a company. I recruited my sister. I love her so much. Shout out to her. But unfortunately, it was dismal. I recruited my sister. She didn't even know how to even operate a computer. She didn't know how to do that. But she was a fast learner. We worked together for about a year or 2. But after that, when she was now leaving, she left with my senior guys, and they wanted to destroy my company, and they almost destroyed it. Why? Because I was trusting her as my sister, and I was trusting also senior employees in that company. And also, when I was don't recruit people because of sympathy. Don't recruit people because of emotions. Recruit people because of logic. Never, ever recruit someone because you feel like it's my muzukuru, it's my cousin, it's my aunt. It's a big mistake. I'm not saying you shouldn't recruit your relatives, but I'm saying recruit the relatives who the relatives who knows what they're doing. Recruit them, but be ready to fire those people. I always say, even if I recruit my mother, I should be ready to fire my mother. If I recruit my wife, I should be ready to fire my wife. Even if you're going to recruit your husband, be ready to fire your husband. But when you recruit a relative now, you're not only firing an employee. Remember, you're also firing a relationship. That relationship also, probably when you're now at a funeral, these are the people who are going to say, this guy has got a room, and that room is not even, or they don't open it often because he's got a snake. You know, us black people, we like, when you see success, it's about snakes. When you see a lady who is successful, it's about sugar daddies. When we see a guy who is successful young, it's about probably is eating with so-and-so or is a runner of a certain political party. But anyway, it's a story of another day. So these are basics. And what I want you, when you're building a team, you are not building a family, you are building a company. We are not building a church. Don't stop involving emotions in it. Involve logic. You should be ready to fire when you can hire. You should certainly fire. Also, try to operate your company just like what your Chelseas are doing, just like what our Barcelonas are doing. The reason why these guys, they get titles now and again is because they only have people who are producing results week in, week out. They are producing results. When you fail to produce results, you sit on the bench. When you fail on the bench, they will sell you to another team. So that's what you need also when you want to build a team. Stop using emotions, stop being, and also on hiring. Never leave one person who is understanding probably a certain specific task. For example, let's say you've got a guy who is very good in your company. Never leave one person understanding a certain skill, because why? You are not an entrepreneur, you're a hostage. Because when that person wants to leave, you're going to break them. And then that person is going to probably start involved into other things which are not going to make the business successful. You're forced to beg them, because why? You're depending on one person. So number one is not good for an entrepreneur. Never rely on number one. When you rely on one, one is the, I don't like one as an entrepreneur. Always have at least 2-3 people who understand that position. And also try to send them for leave and also test their juniors whether they can actually run that company without this person you are relying on. It's key. So another, I'll be just dropping this. There are certain topics we can follow each other. I'll be dwelling on these topics a lot on my social media, etc.